Hello again. Today we're going to tie this copper John nymph. These are cool little nymphs. These sometimes will pull it out of the bag for me when nothing else is working. The biot tails can be a bit fiddly. I find them a bit fiddly to tie in anyway. I'm sure better fly ties do it with ease, but you'll see I'll probably struggle with tying them in. But hey ho. A little bit of flash for thorax cover. Copper bead. It's just a great little nymph. This one's on a size 12. Normally I will fish these in 16s and 14s. I'm going to tie a 12 for you today because, like I've said before, tying them slightly bigger for the video just makes it nicer for you to watch. Thread, Uni 80, colour is camel, and I'm just going to run a bit of wax through the thread. And then we're gonna pop it on. Hook is just a long shank, heavyweight style, size 12. A little bit of a dam to try and stop the bead from sliding down the shank when I'm tying. And then nice, neat touching turns. I'm gonna come down and stop just before the barb of that hook. Now the tail is goose biot. You can use hackle, fibres. I have done in the past. That works equally as well. But I believe it was first tied with goose biot tails. So I'm gonna just, as you can see, they sort of come like this. So I'm gonna peel two off the stem like that. Now you can tie these in at the same time, but I find it easier just to tie them in one at a time. So length, by the way, these have got like a convex side and a concave side. You want the concave side facing down and the convex side facing up. So length, I'm going to have the tails about a hook shank in length. So I'm just going to catch this one on a couple of turns. A little bit too short, so I'm just going to lengthen it. Let's have a little look. Come back. Like I said, I do find these fiddly, so just take your time. Take your time. Catch them on there. There's one. I'm going to catch the other one on there. Just equal the length up. Come on. One, two, just catch it on there. If he seems a little bit long, just pull him in a little bit. Pull him in a little bit, that's it. Now I'm going to tighten down and then I'm going to come underneath them. Whoops. I'm going to come underneath them and that's kind of going to splay them out a little bit for me. And then a turn to lock. And there's your tails. Just going to have a look. There's your tails. Lovely. So, I'm just going to take the thread up, full length, and then I'm just going to come in with my scissors and get rid of the waste, get rid of the waste bits of biots, snip them free. Just going to tidy this up. I didn't really do that well, did I? Right, now I'm going to wax the thread. And on the way down, I'm going to tie in a gold wire. This is just soft gold wire. Sorry, I meant copper wire in medium. This is, I believe this is Uni again. So I'm going to catch it on my side. Come here. I'm going to catch it on my side. And I'm going to run the thread down to the base of the tail. I'm going to run the thread back up. And again, for when I catch it, I'm just going to make sure there's wax on that thread. Now, when you bring this first turn over of this copper, this is the most important one because you really need to get that one nice, neat and straight. And then you can kind of butt every other turn up against that one. So nice and slowly, we're just going to come up with the copper wire. As you can see, I don't cut the copper wire off the spool. The reason I do that is because it's less wasteful. Now, it's not me being tight or anything like that. It's literally making the most out of the materials you have. Waste not, want not, and all that. So we're going to keep coming up with the copper wire, trying to make them as touching as you can. If you get little gaps like that, I just come in with my nail and try and move it, but don't be too bothered if you can see some of that brown thread shining through it. It really doesn't matter. And then when you come up, meet the thread, I'm going to put a 90-degree bend into the wire and I'm going to catch it off. 1, 2, whoops it daisy, 3, 4 turns, pull it back, and then we're just going to wiggle the wire, and that is going to break it off. Now I'm just going to put a bit of wax on the thread and I'm just going to tidy this up. Now, the thorax cover is Uni Mylar, Mirage tinsel, sorry, in large. So I'm going to take a piece of that for the thorax cover. Come on, we're going to catch him on the top. We're going to run him down to the back of where your thorax will be, which is there. And make sure he is bang plumb on top, which that looks a little bit out. That's better. I'm going to run my thread up and I am going to, whoops, put some dubbing on here. Now, you can use, in fact, I think the original pattern, they do use peacock herl, but this is a dubbing you've seen me use before. This is my peacock herl substitute. I just find it lasts longer than peacock herl. My flies last longer. So come round and I'm tightening this dubbing every time I'm turning it round. I'm just tightening it up. Come round. Just have a look. When you've got enough, take the waste off. Just going to come back to tighten up where I've taken the waste bit off. And there we go. Pull all the dubbing back, come in front of the bead, and just have a look. If you've got any like crazy long bits of dubbing fibre, which I have, I'm just going to come through and get rid of them. There you go, I'm happy with that. Now, for the legs, I've just got a Indian cock cape in ginger. Now I'm going to take a feather off the hide, off the skin, like that. You can take one of the big feathers that you don't really use for anything else. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull back, I'm going to hold the tip here and I'm going to pull back the barbs like this. Okay? And what that's going to do is reveal the tip. And I'm going to snap the tip off and then I'm going to push all the fibres back. And what you end up with, I don't know if you can see that, is a V. And that's what's going to be our legs. So I'm going to pull back what I don't need. I'm going to push. Sorry, I'm getting all like tripping over me words as per usual. I'm going to put the V on top of the fly like this. I'm going to hold it with my fingers here and I'm going to come over with a turn to trap it. So hold it on the top, come round with the thread, 1, make sure it stays on top, 2 turns to hold, have a look, make sure they're all where you want them. What we will be doing, you see, we'll be coming in and splitting it. Now that's not gone that great. So we're just going to come back and we're going to do that again. So I'm going to pull it up. I'm going to pull all these down. Pull all these down till I've got where I want. Break the tip off and pull it up and leave myself with the V. So I'm going to place that on the top. Come round with the thread, catch him 1, 2, make sure he stays on top, Right, I'm much happy with that. Now I'm going to pull this feather in until I've got the length, and a length I like to have them just coming into the tail in the back, which that is. So, going to come around with a wax thread, a couple of turns, pull the feather back, a couple of turns, come in with my scissors, take the waste away. With these fiddly bits like this, it's just, you've just got to take your time. And now I'm going to come round and I'm going to split the legs with the thorax cover, hold everything back, hold it with my left hand, left finger, come around 1, 2, 3 turns, make sure he's all on the top. If you're happy, I'm happy. Wax the thread, one more time, pull that back, a couple of turns, and then we can come in and we can get rid of the waste of the thorax cover, of the mylar. So there we go, we're just going to have a look. Happy with that. Now, to try and hide all of this, I'm going to put the tiniest piece of dubbing. I'm literally almost just colouring the thread. So I'm just going to come on, I'm just going to come over, catch it, like that, that's enough. Take off all the rest. Just to try and hide that. Sweep everything back, slip your thread in between the bead and the dubbing, and then I'm going to varnish the thread as per usual. As per usual. It's the easiest way I find to varnish these whoopsie-daisy. And then we're going to come straight in with a whip finish. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to tighten the thread up. You can see I'm really tugging on that hook. It's nice and tight. Trim the thread away. Have a look at your fly. I'm happy with that. And then last little bit, I'm going to put a little bit of varnish on my dubbing needle, and I just pop it over the top of that thorax, over the top of the thorax cover and the little bit of dubbing that I put in front of it. It just helps shine it up. And there we go. That basically is your copper John. I can bring a little bit of the dubbing out if I want, make it a little bit more leggy, but to be honest with you, I don't normally actually. Like I said, the biot tails can be fiddly, but take your time, you'll get it done. Great little pattern. Anyway, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, then please do. Please hit that like button, and if you have already subscribed, then thank you for that. I really do appreciate it, and thanks for watching.